I know. Every so often though we get something that comes along that everybody's in it.
Usually HBO at 9 p.m.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Previously On via the Rewatch Recap page on YouTube. I'm Dustin, and this is the show where we talk about what we're watching, what we want to watch, and what we've been rewatching on our personal time. With me today is a good friend of mine, and his name is Max. He's from Bitches with Beards, a podcast about he and his friend Daniel they're bitches and they have beards. So that's the best
Pretty
description I can
much
give
how it works.
it. How you doing, Max?
I'm doing good. How are you doing? So I'm trying to work out where to put my phone with my notes, but not also have it fall halfway through it. No,
Oh,
I'm
it's
doing
okay.
I'm doing good. I am very excited to be here to discuss the Telly because I fucking love the Telly.
I love when British people call it the telly.
What's on the Telly
It's
tonight?
like the elevator's the lift, and the bathroom's the loo. I love it. It's
What's
good
on the
times.
box? Do you call it the box over here?
The TV?
Yeah.
The boob tube, maybe?
We use
Or
that
the
one.
idiot box? I think they call it the idiot box.
Yeah, we would say what's on the box tonight. And that
Well,
was
yeah,
it.
it used to be a box, so yeah.
Yeah, now it's a flat screen.
Now it's just I don't know, kind of art now because it hangs on the wall most places, and it's
I
like a
always wanted
flat
that.
piece of art. And I mean, people do put that up as like a screensaver.
Well,
It's
your one's
art.
very flat behind you.
This one?
Yeah, you can see
Oh
it
yeah,
there hanging like a piece of art.
and it's a 3D TV. Those went out of fashion, and I kept mine.
I one time dated a guy who had a 3D TV, and the only thing he could show me was one of the Madagascar movies, and that, yeah, my face exactly. And it looked cool. I mean, it looked really like good, but they didn't last, did they? 3D
No,
TVs.
well, they didn't over here. I think they still have them in Europe a little bit, maybe even in South America. It's still kind of popular. They're still manufacturing them a little bit, but we don't get them here. And I think the last time they had any was like 2018, 2016, something like that, is when they last manufactured them. So,
Did they do any 3D TV over here? Was that a thing ever?
oh, you mean television shows?
Yeah,
No, not that I know of. But the cool thing with this is, if it's an HD and it's
yeah.
got a good quality, you can actually turn something that's 2D into 3D.
Oh, cool.
It's got that cool. So I would watch something National Geographic, and I remember I turned it on, and there was like deer or goats on a mountain, and it was really cool because it really just makes it deep. It doesn't like
Yeah,
come out at you, but it just kind of gives it depth and layers. And if they ever retroactively like convert a movie like The Wizard of Oz, that's kind of what it does. It just kind of makes it deep.
yeah.
Um,
You could. They did 3D movies. The one show they only ever did was Doctor Who. That was the only
mm,
one they ever made. A couple of the episodes
I have that actually. I think
3D. I
I
think
have one of those.
the 50th special was 3D. The one with David Tennant and Matt Smith.
Oh, that one. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yeah. I do. I
and you
have that. I have that. I don't know why I was thinking of the 60th. Sorry.
and you could tell that when even I watched it in 2D, the shot where it goes into the painting at the start to see
Yeah.
the fall of Arcadia, everyone in the room was going, that's the money 3D shot. We were like,
Yeah. Oh,
there,
yeah.
that's it. Yeah, that was it.
You can watch if you watch a 3D movie in 2D. You're like, okay, this would have been the 3D point, or something came out at you.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk about shows, what we're rewatching, what we're currently watching, and what we want to see in the future. First, let's talk about what we are rewatching currently. What are you rewatching, Max?
Well, we've just finished off rewatching the last season of Doctor Who.
Oh, okay.
Mainly because the hubs kept falling asleep during the second to last episode, which has led into the finale. So we finally got him through it, and we're now excited for next week's second season of the Nikuti Gatwa era, which should be exciting. I am also rewatching a lot of British stuff at the moment. There's a show called W1A, which is a mockumentary about the BBC, created by the BBC, which is excellent. I think it's definitely on BritBox if you've got it, but it's hilariously funny. David Tennant does the voiceover.
Okay.
It's a complete it just rips apart the institutions, and it's like this is the Be Better meeting. Welcome to Anna Rampton, who's going, and they just sit there the whole way through going, yes, that's amazing, perfect, great, let's be better. And
Is
it
it kind of
sounds
like the British version of Documentary Now?
yes,
Okay.
it's think of it, and but nothing makes everything sounds stupid, but at the same time it makes perfect sense, and it's a complete rip apart of how corporate life works, and no one ever achieves anything. No one ever sits in these meetings and comes out. But it's Hugh Bonneville who's in Paddington and Downton Abbey.
Hmm.
It's just it's perfect. So if anyone wants to watch that, I've been watching that. Vicar of Dibley, a bit of Gavin and Stacey, Miranda, which are all British comedies. I've had a bit of a rough start to the year, so I am cooking my dinner and shoving any old British comedy on comfort watches while cooking on the Alexa, and it's been good. But no, definitely British comedy. If no one's watched it, Gavin and Stacey. It's only 20 episodes, 3 seasons. Yeah.
It's funny how it's so popular and it's so short. It's kind of like Coupling as well. They only had 4 seasons and there's like 24 episodes, maybe.
Yeah, Gavin Stacey was 6, 7, one special, then another 6, then 2 specials, and the last special came out at Christmas. And even though there's only been 20 episodes, it shut down the country. Like literally, everyone on Christmas Day, like. I mean, we had to wait over here till the next day. But
it's got like Doctor Who levels of.
It's beyond dedication. Actually. It's beyond it. Like there were stories of people kicking their families out on Christmas Day so they could watch it in silence. But no, we do it. It's really frustrating now to watch like stuff like The Vicar of Dibley. Do you ever watch that one of Dawn French? The Vicar of Dibley?
But I know about it.
Yeah, and this came out at a time when female vicars were a big thing. They were kind of new. And even that had a reduced second season that was only 4 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So you had 6, then 2 specials, then 4 episodes, then just a ton of specials. It's beloved in England, but there's like 20. It's like, how do we do it? I mean, our other great British one, I should mention, Absolutely Fabulous. It's just the best show ever.
They were going to try that over here.
Have you seen the pilot? Catherine Hahn playing Eddie, and Kristen Johnson from Third Rock from the Sun playing Patsy. And
That's right. No, I did see that.
There's a clip online, and it is them playing Jennifer Saunders and Joanna Lumley. It's them playing the actors playing the roles, and it's just like, guys, it's not worth it.
Oh, you mean like kind of meta in a way?
Yeah, it's not like, but like in a way, their performances are them playing the. It's like no, they're not their own performances. It's so weird. It's like they're so highly.
They're doing their best impressions.
Yeah, there we go. Whereas everyone knows the best American version of Absolutely Fabulous was Sybil.
Yes.
Think about that was Sybil to a T. The ex-husbands, the stroppy daughter, the best friend with no clue.
And so yeah, currently I'm rewatching just random Buffy episodes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a channel on Prime, which I regret that I had Prime, but I still paid for it for the year, so I'm going to use it if I have it.
Yeah.
And I'm rewatching Buffy, and I'm rewatching random Saturday Night Live episodes.
Oh yeah.
So I haven't gone back to like the original cast era because I watched the movie Saturday Night, and it makes me want to watch it. I just haven't done it yet. It was great.
I loved it.
And but I've been watching because I just listened to the audiobook for Leslie Jones's memoir.
Yeah.
It's Leslie Jones, and that's the name of the book. And it's awesome. You should definitely check it out. It's a great book, and she's fun. But she's also like I cried during it. Like she's crying in my ear, and I'm like, oh Leslie, I'm like why don't cry, and just like stuff that's happened to her in her past and whatnot. But then she gives you like aspiring comics. She gives you tips. This is what you want to do.
Yeah.
She tells you all about the workings of SNL, like how things worked out for her, how she was learning everything, how she learned how to write scripts and skits and whatnot. And it was really neat.
And she was older, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. She wasn't. I mean, that's nothing against age or anything, but she was significantly older than the rest of the cast that was
Yeah.
starting out.
Because everybody who joins SNL, they're usually in their 20s,
Yeah,
maybe in their early 30s, and she was in her late 40s, I think, when she
yeah.
started. So,
She's good looking. Oh, she's stunning though. I
oh,
love
she's
her.
awesome. I love her. I'm like listening to that book. I was like, I want to hug her, and I just
Yeah.
want to hang out with her, you know. And so I definitely started watching some of her old stuff on there. Like I think I found her first episode,
Oh,
and I was like,
cool.
oh, because she was talking about it in the book, and I was like, and I happened upon it. I did not even mean to choose it. I mean, for that purpose, I was like, I like Andrew Garfield. Let's watch his, and it happened to be that episode, and I'm like,
Mm.
oh, this is great.
I don't need any excuse to watch Andrew Garfield.
Oh, yum.
Ugh.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm watching now. I'm gonna go back to the original cast. I'm in the nostalgia mode,
Yeah,
because it's the 50th year, and I watched the special. And I got Peacock, so I can watch all this stuff. And
and you're still. That was what 3.5 hours we sat there. It was good, but we
it
were
was
like,
good.
I felt
The
like
concert's even longer, though.
we never watched that in the end. I feel like we should have got a medal if we watched the entire special. That was a marathon.
Okay, so we got through some rewatches and everything. What have you been discovering lately, or what are you currently watching? I know one thing we're going to talk about, but let's go
Yeah.
to anything else beforehand.
We actually, people think that me and my husband watch a lot of TV, and we actually are we watch a couple of bits a night, and that's sort of it. So we do our usual. We love our Drag Race, our Saturday Night Live. We have those, pretty much regularly. We're coming to an end for Somebody Somewhere on HBO Max, which is a really lovely. I always forget the name of the cabaret artist that it's about. Apologies. It is Bridget Everett, and it's about her. She's gone home to look after her sick sister. The series begins after the sister's died, and it's just sort of her finding her place. And it was fantastic, and it's been fantastic, just full of joy.
Is it kind of a dramedy?
It's dramedy, more comedy, but
Okay.
Murray Hill's in it. It's really funny, but there's got a lot of. It's a very grounded humor, but it somehow is delivered with such professionalism and greatness that it's just there's just scenes of her and her best mate having a giggle in a bar, and you're just laughing with them because you've all been there having a giggle in a bar, and they see someone walk in and they like make a story up about that person.
Oh, I love doing that. People
Yeah,
watching. I love people watching.
and I think you'd really like it. So we've really loved that. We watched last week. We pretty much binged Adolescence on Netflix, which was the one that just everyone was just talking about.
Yeah, I don't have Netflix at the moment, but I don't think I could watch it.
No,
That's
it's good.
it's so deep and dark to me that I just can't put myself through it.
I mean, for me, we managed to watch it the second week it was out. I said to the hubs, do you want to watch this or do you want me to watch it? I'm I know he's a bit like towards the end of the night. He goes, no, let's give it a go. He never picked his phone up once, so that's been great. We're just starting Severance from the beginning. We finally got onto that. Yeah, we were doing we were watching a lot of lighter stuff, but I was determined to watch that because we love like Shrinking and like Ted Lasso, and I'm just kind of going through my list of other stuff. The real big one at the moment that we've absolutely fallen in love with is Mid-Century Modern on Hulu.
Oh yes. Okay, so I saw a quote by somebody, and they're kind of right. They said, "Oh, this show is the best that 1987 has to
Yeah,
offer," or
and
something like that.
yeah,
And I'm like, it is. It's very much old school humor. It's kind of corny in parts.
yeah.
There are some good one-liners.
Yeah, and it's got a, and it's. I said it's very much like the first incorrect. The first version of Will and Grace, where it was very brave. When Will and Grace was brought back, they weren't as brave with some of their one-liners. I felt they kind of held back a little bit. Whereas this one, they've come back in with some stuff. But I really hope it gets a second season. We just need that little bit of humor, that little bit of easy. You got to pop it on for 20 minutes. That's what we want. Yeah,
Yes,
but no,
Lost Cause.
that's kind of been it. We watched just what we did love was like Palm Royale. That was excellent. We're loving anything. I don't know. I feel at the moment that Hubs and I we just like watching like rich people.
Yeah.
in their suburban lives, and that's all we, that's what we want. We're not here to muck about, we
Well,
just,
speaking of rich people, we're going to want to
yes,
talk about, of course, I've been talking about this the past few episodes of this, The White Lotus. It just ended.
yeah,
As of today, we're recording this on Monday before it comes out. So we did see it last night. We saw the
yes,
finale. So in case you are watching this and you don't want to know and you haven't watched it yet, you might want to fast forward or something, but between, because we're going to be talking about The White Lotus. There's going to be spoilers ahead if you don't want to know anything about it. So go right now. This is your go.
yeah.
Okay, so the White Lotus. Wow. Okay, so a lot of people I've been seeing online are like, "Oh, it's not good this season. It's not good," and I'm like, I liked it. I still liked
It
it.
was excellent.
There is a formula. Like they said, the character types. There's a formula to them,
Yeah,
obviously, but it's not the same story each time for them. And
I this season was a lot more about the tension. I
mm-hmm,
thought, I felt that, like, there's always, I don't know. I think that the I think the I was trying to think of like the themes behind it, and you've got the second season. I mean, the first season wasn't really anything because it was never meant to be beyond the first season. The
right,
idea was, the story I've heard was Mike White was, HBO were basically saying, can anyone picture something that could be made in lockdown? And Mike White came back with, hey, how about we take one of these empty hotel resorts, we film in it and the cast can stay in it, and we'll base the whole drama around it. And that's how the White Lotus was born. And it's it's genius concept. That's why the second season they're going out a bit more than they did in the first, because
right.
they couldn't leave the Hawaiian resort. The second season was a lot more in your face, because I think it was sexual. It was more about, it was desire. Whereas this
Mm-hmm.
season has been a lot more about secrets, and it's like, I feel like there was
And resistance to change.
change, yeah. And the idea being that it was in it's in a Thai wellness resort. It's not going to be. It's meant to be serene and beautiful,
And
but
tranquil and yeah.
everyone's so het up and tense. And so I want to ask you a question, because if we are, people, we jumped ahead. There was a huge story at the center of the finale in regards to the family. Now I can't remember their
Yes.
names.
They
Now,
ended up becoming a big focus that you didn't expect them to be.
now, obviously, when he started to make the drinks and hand them out, how did you feel about that?
Oh my God, I was like, don't drink it. Oh my God. I kind of, I don't know. Like I was trying to get into his shoes,
Yeah,
and I was like, would you do this? And I was like, turn around, stop,
yeah.
make them stop, and I'm glad he did. Eventually he started to regret it. And I went, oh, thank God. But then later on, the next morning, Lockie finds
Yeah.
the blender, and he starts making a shake.
Me and the Hubs were both like 20-year-old men, straight men. But if they went through that storyline, we were like all looking at each other, and I think eventually one of us went. There was four of us. We had, so first time in it forever. We'd watched, everyone had got together the moment it dropped and watched this drama. And I was like, I don't think they can come back from this. This is a darkness I don't even think White Lotus could actually deliver
Mm-hmm.
on. And I was like, I don't, and not that I'd be like, I'm never watching it again, but I'm like, this is, there's always been a level of humor around the death, whether
Mm-hmm.
or not it was, Murray Bartlett taking a shit in the suitcase and then getting stabbed,
I
or
love that.
Jennifer Coolidge and the whole, you know,
She
going to
shoots everybody and
them
then hits
up.
her head as she falls overboard and dies. Like, ugh.
So the there was always that level. There was always that level of it.
Kind of an
Whereas
irony to it.
irony, and even though this, I'd say there wasn't as much humor, and if anything, around the deaths when they eventually happened. I did think they cannot do a murder suicide. Something about it was like, this doesn't feel naturalistic. I feel even the idea that the family all admitted they just love being rich,
Oh my
I
God,
just thought that was
yes.
brilliant. I'm like, no, it kind of felt like they were like, deliver us from their sins. They've just
Well, how about
admitted.
like he's like, no, Lucky, you can't have this drink because he asked him earlier, could you live without the money? And he's like, yeah, I think I could. And so he's like, all right. And everybody else was saying they couldn't. And he's like,
But
yeah, I could. So he wasn't going to kill his son based
done.
on that.
But then you feel so bad for like Patrick Schwarzenegger because was it Saxon because he was there in the middle of all this, complete and utterly desperate to be his dad,
Mm-hmm.
and
And realizing that wasn't fulfilling for him. You
for
could see
him,
it. It wasn't fulfilling for him. He needed something else. And when he met Chelsea and she's giving him these books and talking about like spirituality and connecting with people, and he laughs at it, but you could tell, you could see it in
yeah.
his face that he actually wants that.
Now, and I think the daughter, I did love it when they sent her to the monastery to kind of say, okay, if you want to do this, spend a night there, and that look on her face of uh, 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 okay, and you're like,
Calling my bluff.
you have not thought about this, have you? I'm like, okay, this is interesting. The incest. How
Okay,
did
so
you
that whole
feel?
conversation in this past episode
Yeah,
where Loki's like, I'm a people pleaser. And I saw that you were there and you looked like you were left out. I'm like, that's not a reason. I don't, um, I don't, I don't know. I felt like Loki was more into it than he was saying. Because the
yeah,
way he was looking at him earlier in the season and just like, he was like, what did he say? He said, and you can worship me, but don't worship
shit
me.
me.
Like, and I'm like, I don't think he worships you. I think he idolizes you and he wants to be you to the
Yeah,
point where he'll do anything to be as close to you as possible.
I think though that there was an element of that of be careful what you wish for. Now that's not to say that what he did with his brother was in any way normal.
No.
Can we talk about Chelsea and Frank?
Okay, so I loved her. I hate what happened to her. You saw it coming though. You knew something was coming. She kept
She
hinting
could
at it.
see it, couldn't she? She was seeing it in her head.
She was like, things happen in threes, and only two things that happen. You're like, well, something's about to happen to her,
Yeah.
and all these close calls, and then you saw him, and you're like, he has this weird pride thing with his parents, and like this betrayal feeling from both of them, and I saw like when he shot the guy.
Yeah.
I knew. I mean, I already knew. I was like, "That's his father. That's his father."
Yeah.
I knew that. Like,
The hubs called it the episode before.
yes, I did too. I was like,
Yeah.
"That's his father. That's his real father. Like, that's what's going to happen." And then that's what it was. And I'm like, "Oh, he killed his own dad. Oh, of course." And wow, but I kind of had a feeling that he was the one floating in the water
Yeah.
when at the very beginning when Zion saw because it was somebody with dark hair, and everybody's like, "Oh, don't let it be Belinda." I was like, "I don't think that was Belinda."
No.
Um,
She was a character actually out of all of them. I would not have accepted her dying.
no,
I felt that would have. I felt that again. There's certain rules. There's unwritten rules in this show, and that would have broken one of the rules, which I think is that even though by this point she was a rich person, that was a very clever twist at the end of it.
And Shelly, our friend Shelly,
Yeah,
she pointed out that she said the same line to Porn Chow
yeah,
that Tanya told her in the
yeah.
rejection line. It was the exact same line.
Oh wow.
That as soon as she got the money, boom, she used that same line. It's like, oh, now she's changed already. You see that
Yeah.
change happening with money.
But also,
And,
I got why she had to leave Thailand because if you just got $5,000 off a guy you suspected of killing his wife, or 5 million, you'd be like, I'm out of there.
yeah. And look, can we just talk about how pissed off I am that nothing came of him? Like he didn't get any comeuppance. I was hoping at least like at the end he would get in the
Yeah.
crossfire and get shot somehow.
I'm annoyed Uncle Rico didn't, but at the same time, I'm like, that's sort of. I loved.
Typical.
I love it. Like because at the end of the second one, you had the three generations, and they all turned around. They all were like trying to be sorry for their sins, and then this hot young Italian girl walks past and they all turn together. You
Hmm.
had the same sort of ending with him seeing his next, young
Or with
wife.
Alexandria Daddario
That
in the
was
first one, but
stunning.
she ended
Yeah,
up not leaving, and she ended
yeah,
up becoming that housewife type, rich
yeah,
housewife character that she didn't want to be, but she went ahead and did it anyway.
yeah. So I, for me, I don't know how you feel. I feel at the end of this one, Dustin, we don't need to tell each other that Parker Posey's been a goddess of cinema and television for years. And if anyone is only just discovering her, shame on you. But she definitely, I think Amy Lee Wood, for me, not so much the breakout star because I've seen her in like Sex Education, there's some excellent films she's in, but like Megan Fahey in the second season, she was finally given a role that people could see her go. She's amazing. I think
Hmm.
this is gonna catapult her career moving forward. I think Parker Posey's definitely the Jennifer Coolidge of the season in a sense of just let's remind us what talent we have. And I think that's where we're starting to see that repetition of it. And I think that like the Three Friends, I adore Carrie Coon in The Gilded Age and Ghostbusters. I've loved Leslie Bibb since Popular, GCB.
Hmm.
Um, again, loved her. Um, they're all set. They're just gonna. But I think that's the thing I love about White Lotus is that it brings in my sort of actor
Yes.
and gives them these roles that then people are like, oh my god, who are these? I'm like, what do you mean? Who are these?
Well,
These
they're
people?
not super. A lot of them aren't
Yeah,
superstars. Like I would argue that Jason Isaacs and Walter Goggins and
yeah,
Parker Posey, they're the superstars, right?
yeah,
But then you have some people who are recognizable who have been in other things,
yeah,
but they're relatable. That's the reason. You want
yeah.
somebody who's relatable. And I think, like we were talking about Belinda earlier, that's the reason why you don't want anything to happen to her because you relate to her the most because your
Yeah,
morals lie with her. And you're like, if something happens to her, then what's with my morals? Like it
yeah.
kind of makes you question things about yourself. And from what I understand, I read something or he said it in the after show. Mike White was talking about how he wants to move away from the waves crashing on the rocks, which tells me that the next season is going to be more land based, not like seaside. It's going to be something like a resort in like an Arizona place, you know what I mean, or the mountains or
I've
something like
heard
that.
An Aspen style ski resort has come up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's gonna be a ski resort or something
Yeah,
like that, and that'll be interesting. Or it could be urban, like more urban, like in a big city. Like there's some kind of resort in the big city somewhere that could
yeah.
possibly
I think
happen.
skiing would be a good one. I think that would be a good one to do.
We're gonna go into what are you looking forward to seeing soon? It could be in the next month. It could be the next year. So what do you think you want to watch soon that's coming out?
Oh God, there's. I'm definitely looking forward to the new season of Doctor Who. I will be
Yes.
lying. I'm getting a bit nervous. I don't like all this stuff about it being cancelled. Have you heard a lot of these rumors? And
I think that the rumor really is that they're going to get rid of Nashuti Gatwa and move forward without him and go back to regular old white guy Doctor Who. And it's like,
yeah,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, like we needed something to spice it up, to throw in a little bit of different. It's just like with Jodie Whittaker. Even though the writing for her episodes weren't great, she was a great doctor.
yeah, they tried something very different with her, and I mean, I watched Flux and was like, this is the weirdest thing
It
I've.
was weird. I didn't really like it. And standalone episodes were great, you know,
Yeah,
but as far as the overarching story, it was kind of
her stuff felt very pieced together for some reason. I
yeah,
don't
it
know
didn't feel like it
why.
was a cohesive
No, I
flow.
get. No, I think Doctor Who. I'm looking forward to Ironheart, the Marvel one. I'm very curious about that, and
Oh yes.
Andor. I'm looking forward to. I'm a huge fan of the Marvels and the Star Wars. I feel though at the moment is Disney. It's a ship that needs rectifying on both their parts. The Marvel Star Wars stuff, the Disney Star Wars stuff has been excellent, but there's no overarching drive moving forward with it, and I want to
Hmm.
know what they really want to do next. I'm gutted the Acolyte didn't work out. I'm excited they're going back to movies. Andor is going to be, I think, going to be excellent. It's going to lead right into it. Same with Ironheart. I'm really hoping for the Marvels, it's going to be like the new Iron Man. It's got a lot of potential again, but I mean, Disney is just lost at the moment with Marvel. It does. It can't see the wood through the trees. So
Yeah, and I'm glad that they finally decided we're going to take a step back. We're not going to produce as many because it's kind of like Netflix. It's kind of like you throw too much at the wall to see what sticks, and then the stuff that comes out of it's like,
this is the trouble as well, is when they did the phase 1s, 2, and 3 of Marvel, was that the Avengers all capped each one, and then they stopped doing that, and so you had the beginning, middle, and end, and all of a sudden they're doing the next 3 phases, and you're like, well, where's the structure to each act?
Yeah.
What conclusion? So that's it really. I'm sure, and in the long run, Ted Lasso season 4 going to be very exciting.
I'm looking forward to that so bad.
And I think that, and there's a lot of shows out there. I'm just generally curious about what's coming forwards. I think now there's so much coming out, and I lose track of when it comes out, that I just wait and see what hits me around the face, and I'll give it a watch.
But anyway, thank you, Max. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on the show. Everybody, you need to check out Bitches with Beards. It comes out. Are you still doing Wednesdays?
We're still doing Wednesdays, apart from that one day that I had a brain fart and Dustin madly messaged me at 8 a.m. going, "Are you releasing today?" And I was like,
"What happened to your show?" Oh. Yeah, Bitches with Beards. It's a great show. They talk very current events that happened in the past week. The culture in society.
And we try to avoid as much politics as possible. Or
you get very vague about it, so you don't. Yeah, you just kind of hint at things. But you mainly just talk about what everybody's talking about, besides,
and what they don't want to talk about, but they secretly are behind everyone else's back.
Oh yes, so they're very cheeky as it is, and just they're good friends. So it feels like you're just sitting at the table listening to your friends talk. So make sure you check it out. It comes out every Wednesday, wherever audio podcasts are played. And, make sure you check out the Rewatch Recap. The Rewatch Recap comes out every Monday, and it'll be right here on YouTube. And you can also listen to audio-only format. So until next time, thank you, Max, for joining me.
Thank you. Bye,
and everybody
everyone.
have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.